Hello, Brookhaven. My name is Matt Murray, and I'm the Emergency Management Coordinator for the city. Today, we're going to talk about building an emergency ready kit for you and your family. This kit will get you through 3 days in the event that we do have a disaster, and you're going to need one kit per person per family. There's going to be a number of items in these kits that are going to be needed for life-sustaining and life-saving measures. So thank you very much, and let's begin. All right, so the first thing we want to have is water. You want to have 1 gallon per person per day. So for a 3-day kit for one person, you want to make sure you've got 3 gallons of water. And there are many ways that you can get this water. We're going to talk about that in additional videos, one specific for water. The next thing we want to make sure that we have is food, enough food for 3 days. You want to shoot for an adult about 2,500 calories a day so that you've got enough on hand. For kids, you'll need a little bit less. That'll depend on the age of your kid. But for most people above the age of 12, having 2,500 calories on hand will be beneficial. There are different kinds and types of food, whether it be canned, prepackaged, freeze-dried, and we'll be discussing these in a follow-up video as well on food and your food choices. The next thing you want to make sure that you have is something that can get you information. What FEMA recommends is having a hand crank, battery-powered weather radio. And these radios are not overly expensive. They're easy to work with, easy to use, and they're also very compact. But in the event of an emergency, much of the emergency information is going to be broadcast over the FM bands as well as the weather radio bands, which are specific to the area. Make sure that when you do select a radio, you do not get one of the ones that has a rechargeable battery that you have to charge through USB, because you never know if power is going to be available during the event or the disaster. So hand crank, you have ones that are hand crank as well as solar powered. Some of them have flashlights, some of them are very compact. But all of these do the same thing. And since disasters don't just go through the day, we want to make sure that we have either a flashlight or a headlamp. Now, when you select your flashlight or a headlamp, you do not have to go out and buy the one that is 3,000 lumens that looks like the sun. A simple flashlight is fine. But whatever flashlight or headlamp you do select, make sure that you have extra batteries on hand and keep them in some kind of watertight container so that they're not affected by the humidity. During disasters, people get hurt. We want to make sure that we've got a first aid kit, a good first aid kit. And this first aid kit should be more than just a box of Band-Aids that you have in your drawer. Find you a first aid kit that is good for the level of training that you have. If you don't have first aid training, we offer a number of classes, and you can get a number of classes in the community on how to treat yourself or others in the event that they get hurt. But make sure you have a first aid kit that has minor all the way up to some of the more serious injuries that you can treat. And in many disasters, it generates a lot of debris and dust and other things. You want to make sure that you protect your ability to breathe, so make sure you have a dust mask or one of these old N95 masks that we kept around from COVID. Have a couple of them on hand in the event that you have to evacuate through an area that has a lot of dust or a lot of debris, so that you're able to protect your mouth and nose. Want to make sure we have a whistle. Got to be able to call for help in the event that we get trapped somewhere or we get separated and we can't find anybody, but we hear them. Whistles are very cheap, and you can get a pack of 3 for a couple of dollars. Plastic sheeting. There are times, very rare times, but you'll be asked to shelter in place, and they will want you to ensure that you've sealed the doors and the windows. So having some duct tape on hand as well as plastic sheeting is great. I like contractor trash bags. Contractor trash bags are very thick. They're as thick as much of the plastic sheeting that you will buy, but you can also double them up as a garbage bag. So they're a great multi-tool to have in your kit. All right, now we've talked about the basic stuff you need in your kit. These are some additional items that would be helpful to have. When you have food, you got to have something to eat it with. These mess kits are really good. As you can see here, all of this is in this little small compact package. It'll fit good inside of a bag or a container. Hygiene is important in an emergency. Making sure that you're kept clean will keep you healthy. Having a hygiene kit with some soap and toothbrush and whatnot, along with a small towel, will go far to keep you healthy and happy. Our cell phones are everywhere. We use them all the time. And in an emergency, they can be used to give information. But you need to make sure you've got the ability to charge your cell phone because the power may be out, and having an extra cell phone charger, or like this one, which can charge multiple devices at one time, you'll be able to stay abreast of what's going on when you get your information from Code Red or the Brookhaven Alert app. Comfort is important, particularly during the winter months. Having a simple blow-up pillow and a blanket, particularly if you have to evacuate, can go very far to helping you deal with a disaster. And we cannot forget our furry friends like Colin here. Make sure that you're preparing for them as well. They need things just like we do. They need 3 days of food, they need water, and there are a few other odds and ends that we'll talk about in a later video so that you can make sure that you and your pets are prepared for a disaster. Now that you've assembled your kit, where do you store it? You want to make sure you store your kits in a very cool, very dry place. They don't have to be refrigerated, but you don't want them in your garage during the summer either. And what you want to keep your kit in is really up to you. Some people like having backpacks. They can store a lot of stuff in backpacks, and they fit really well. You can grab it and go, but you're not going to put 3 gallons of water in a backpack. So how I personally store mine is I have one of these rolly carts that I keep my water and extra stuff in. And then I have a backpack with all of my other stuff, so it distributes the load, and you've got something that you can pull if you need to keep everything in your kit. If you have a family or you've got kids, you're going to need something larger. These bins make great tools. You can get milk crates. Whatever you want to store your kit in, you can store it, and it doesn't have to be somewhere that you have to get it within 30 seconds. You can store your kit into a closet. But when you're putting your kit together, I'm not saying that you should go out and spend thousands of dollars on a kit right now. Do this over time. When you go to the grocery store next week, get you a bottle of water or a pack of water, get a couple of cans of food. Get it over time. You don't need to wait until the last minute when they say that there's an emergency coming, but you can spread this out over weeks or months to get everything you need for you and your family. So as I said, in the coming weeks, we're going to be doing additional videos over specific topics that are in the kits, so you guys can learn and kind of tailor what you want to get for your particular kit. And we will also have all of the information that we've discussed here online. It'll be at brookhavenga.gov/emergency management, or you can email me at emergencymanagement@brookhavenga.gov, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that we can. Thank you guys for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you on the next videos.